Bobby Wagner's a freak of nature. I mean, he's unbelievable. He has the ability to do that. They threw a flag, by the way, but not for leaping. They threw a flag for an illegal formation. And what the rule says is you cannot line up on the line of scrimmage over the center. But Bobby Wagner didn't. He timed the leap. He wasn't lined up in a set position on the line of scrimmage, so the formation was legal. The jump was legal. He didn't get added leverage. There's no leverage. It was a perfectly legal play, and it's disappointing to me that, very disappointing that Bruce Arians would take this harsh stance when he was dead wrong. And then he tried to challenge something that's not reviewable. Wrong.
Crazy, weird game, 6-6 tie, first time that's happened in years. No one can score a touchdown. Offenses were poor. Defenses were great. Special teams for the Seattles was great. But I thought there was a fourth phase of football that dominated that game, the officiating. I thought there were a lot of bad calls. There were some good calls, but there was just too much from the officiating crew. Did you ever get that feeling last night watching that game?
I did, not as much as I got when I watched the Oakland-Jacksonville game where they had 36 penalties that were called. 36. It's interesting, and I always had to deal with this. How do you kind of justify a game that has 36 penalties, and then you've got like Washington, and in their game with Detroit, there was only 8 in the game. Such a disparity in the numbers. When you get into that range, to me, when it gets over 16, 17, you become so much more a part of the game. And that doesn't mean that you're wrong. I mean, that's the thing. If you look at it, you really get concerned if the calls were incorrect. But, you know, with the interruptions that come with replay and with officiating, when you get to be that much of the game, it's difficult.
Mike, I want to follow up on this because you've been involved with the NFL for a long time. We've watched the rules get peeled back on how much teams can practice, how physical they can be in practice. Is the play getting sloppier? Is that why we're seeing so many penalties? Was the quality of play better when you could practice a little more?
Personally, I think it was. I mean, I think there is such thing as playing shape that makes you more sharp, and I think that comes with contact. You can't really look at the games like, you know, Philadelphia and Minnesota. Look at the number of turnovers in that game. I mean, it was not a very good week of football, if you ask me.
You've hit it on the nail. It was a stench show, man.
And I think when people talk about, you know, the ratings going down, you know, what is it? Is it Colin Kaepernick? Is it the officiating? Is it replay? To me, the level of football just hasn't been that high, and it's not fun watching the games. To me, I mean, look at that Philadelphia game in Minnesota. That was our A game. That to me was a tough game to watch. Period.